Lyn Semeta.
Anticipated that. So yes, I am Lyn Semeta, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you, Sunset Beach Association, for having us, providing this opportunity. I especially love being in this room because I checked off one of my bucket list goals here very recently. At your Sunset Beach Art Festival, I sold my first piece of art. You do such a great job in this community, putting on these community events that make us all, welcome all of us in the city. Love the Mother's Day. So, and I do want to commend Tony Sellis. I am vice chair of the Planning Commission right now in Huntington Beach, and you have been very diligent in understanding, trying to understand what's going on with your plan, and it has been very interesting. We've had a few projects come through on the Planning Commission, kind of trying to go from what the county was doing to what our city is doing. There's been some confusion, so yes, we definitely need to, we are looking at amending some of the plan because of that. So thank you for your work. This, my primary platform, honestly, is preserving this beach culture. We've heard it from a couple of us tonight, because honestly, this little community here is kind of the model for that. It's just a microcosm of what makes a great community. And our whole city is we need to preserve that beach culture. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in Seal Beach, went to Huntington Beach High School. Can you hear me in the back, by the way? Went to Huntington Beach High School. So kind of learned so much more about the city at that time, and what makes it special, and I've always appreciated that since. I'm somebody, I grew up in a fiscal conservative household, taught the value of community service, so I've always been involved in community service. And I went to UCLA for college and down to University of San Diego for law school, and became very involved in the community down there. I stayed and practiced law there for a little while before coming back. And I got involved with the homeless veterans, helping them with their legal problems. And through that, learned that women down there really, there were a lot of homeless women in hiding. So started an event for women's, homeless women as well, kind of modeled after what the Vietnam vets were doing. And that's in its 26th year, and I'm proud of that history. I also was one of the initial volunteers at the restraining order clinic for battered women down there. But then my husband and I, we were married 28 years. We had our 2 girls. And they were very young. We decided we wanted to move back here. So in '96, we wanted to raise our family here. We bought our home here in Huntington Beach. And I quickly became involved in this community because my daughter was diagnosed with autism. And because I was an attorney, I was approached by other parents and asked to sue the school districts on their behalf. But that's not really who I am. I'm someone that believes we can work together to solve problems. So instead, I became co-chair of an organization, Women's Resource, I'm sorry, that was a different one, Orange County Autism Resource Center. And we worked really on channeling funds away from litigation into better services for the kids. So I'm proud of that as well. But then it became clear that where my services were needed was in the city. That's some issues to deal with. And so I was appointed first to the Investment Advisory Committee, and then to the Planning Commission, where, as I said, I served as vice chair. I really enjoyed that involvement. But serving on the Planning Commission, it became clear, and you all, I don't need to tell you this, we are building some massive apartment buildings on the beach in Ellis and down in Edinburgh, and we're changing the character of the city in what I think is a negative way. We are urbanizing the city, and that's not what we should be doing. We need to be more careful about how we're doing development. And so that is my primary goal, is to work on that. Not bring those massive apartment buildings back. But what we need to do instead really is incentivize commercial growth that are reasonable commercial growth, because that's what adds to our tax base and on an ongoing basis helps us meet our expenses. So I want to focus more on that. I also am very much wanting to increase transparency on Planning Commission. I've always welcomed that from everyone. And we'll continue to encourage expanding our ability to reach out and let you have your voice. Tonight we heard from you in a small environment, but we want to hear from you up on City Council and the Planning Commission as well. And some of you have been really good about coming down to the Planning Commission and letting us know what's going on in your community. So those are some of the things I want to work on in City Council. I really hope that you vote. I appreciate, again, being here tonight. And I do want to time.